Welcome to the Freedom VMS video tutorial series. In today's video I'm going to show you how to update an eMap due to the addition of more cameras or changes to the numbering of the cameras or site renovations which necessitate the modification of an eMap. Now the steps involved in updating eMaps are briefly these. You import the new eMap image from a USB stick or drive usually. Then you insert any new camera icons if the update includes additional cameras, and you may need to reposition the camera icons so they're over the correct location. And then you have to associate any new cameras with the actual camera that's under a particular device. So you choose the particular device and then you choose the camera under that device. Then you test the eMaps and then you back up the eMaps, and finally you return the eMap files to either your duty manager or your installation manager. Now I just want to go over what we're actually doing here. We've got an updated map. The updated map consists of two new cameras, 38 and 39, and also one of the existing cameras is being moved slightly to the left, this C35 where the TV is. So we've got three modifications happening in this map, so let us proceed. Now to navigate to the eMap setup, I click on the up arrow or the menu icon button here, and I select eMap setup from the options menu. So I click eMap setup and the eMap window opens. Now I just want to clarify a few things. Some people get confused about whether you're in eMap configuration or the eMap, but you know you're in eMap configuration or eMap setup by looking at the top left title up here. It says map setup. So you're not actually in the eMap, you're in the eMap setup part of the program. And each one of the icons here, if you look over here, we've got a camera number and we've got a little circular icon enclosing that. That is called the hyperlink icon, and that is mapped to a particular camera on your CCTV system. So if you look around here, you'll see each one of these has a little circular icon enclosing the camera number. So that's the actual icons on this map. So you tell the icons from just the standard background, if you like. And these icons you can move like so. Okay, let's get started with modifying our eMap. Now the first thing we need to do is import our new eMap image. Now in this particular map there are two eMaps, one called ground analog and one called overview. Now if I did want to modify a different eMap, I'd double click on it first so I see it on the right hand side. I'll go back to ground analog, which I want to modify. Now with ground analog highlighted, I right click over the map name and select map config. Now this opens the map config window. This is where you can select a new image for your eMap or select whether it starts or not. Now I want to browse to my new image, which I've stored on my USB stick. So I'll click on the browse button and navigate to my data drive and select hotel plan in this case. Then I'll click open, and then I'll click the close button, and you should see your new map here. And I see I have C38 and C39, and this one has moved also. So now the first proceedings will be to insert the new cameras. So I've got two new cameras, C38 and C39. Now to create new icons for them, I click down here in the toolbox option here, So I'll just click in that little circle, and here I see my camera and hyperlink icons. I will drag this camera icon over and just drop it off here just over the 39, and now it's asking me what camera do I want to select and also what icon do I want to use. At the moment it's this one here is selected. I want to use a transparent icon in this case, which is the middle one, so I click and select that, and now I have to browse the camera that I want to use. So I click on the select camera button, then I browse the device that the camera's under. In this case I'll say the 16, and I will select reception, then click OK, and then I can click close, and I just want to check that it's positioned correctly, which it is because I just dropped it over there. If it wasn't, I'd simply drag it over to the middle of that number, so the red C number is in the middle. Okay, now for C38, again I click on the camera, click and drag the camera icon over here and drag it and just drop it over the C38 in this case. And again I will select the transparent round icon in this case as my default camera icon, and I will click on the select camera to select my camera. This time I'll choose this one and I'll say side roll door, then click OK, then click close and check that it's positioned correctly. Might just adjust that a bit. Okay, so now I've created the two new icons for the two cameras, and now I see this C35 which has been moved. The camera icon is still here. Now I don't need to add another camera icon for this because it already exists and it should be mapped to the right camera. So I simply drag the existing camera icon in this case over to the new location. And if I'm happy with all of that, I can click on the save button down here and click OK and then click close. Now that we've modified our eMaps and updated them, we need to test our eMaps. Now I see here that my eMap screen is open. Now whenever you've edited an eMap, you must close any open eMaps, otherwise they won't work. So you click on the X up here to close. Now to reopen our eMap, we click on the eMap icon down here. Now we'll test by clicking and dragging our C39, which is one of our new cameras, over to an empty tile, and that's working. And I'll do the same for C38, the other new camera, and that's working as well. And I'll just make sure this one's still working. Okay. Now that we've tested our eMaps, the last step is always to back up each eMap file. We do this by navigating down to the right here, clicking on the menu button, which is the arrow icon here, and then selecting eMap setup again. And we have two eMaps here, ground analog and overview in this case. So to back up the first one, I click on it, right click and click on export eMap. I browse to the location I want, which actually is my data drive. I'll leave that name there and I'll give it a date so I know what version this is. Then click save. And that's succeeded. Then I'll double click over here on the overview and I'll right click that now and export that to back it up. And again I'll choose the same location and give it the same date of modification, and then click save and OK, and now I can close the eMap. And that wraps up the tutorial on updating eMaps. Thanks for watching.